Guys, we're going to continue to do elapsed time. This time more activities are going to be added to the problems. It's going to be one activity or two activities or three activities, and moving from the start time to the end time or from the end time to the start time. So we're going to work on the problem on page 578. I'm going to start reading the problem. Corey gets out of school at 2:45 p.m. It takes him 10 minutes to walk home. Then he spends 10 minutes eating a snack. He spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. It takes 20 minutes for Corey's father to drive him to soccer practice. At what time does Corey arrive at soccer practice? So I'm going to go ahead and do my B cup so I can take my information out. On this problem, I already prepared my number line. I put the start time, I put the elapsed time, and I put the end time. On every problem, remember, they're going to give you two of these. They can give you the start and the elapse, and it'll be your job to find the end. Or they can give you the elapse and the end, and it is your job to find the start. Or they'll give you the start and the end, and it is your job to find the elapse. So I'm going to go ahead and do my B cup for the first sentence. I'm going to stop right here. Corey gets out of school at 2:45 p.m. So we need to understand what happens first. If getting out of school or where he was going to soccer practice. In this problem, he first got out of school and then he will arrive at soccer practice. So that means that the first thing that happened was getting out of school. So that becomes your start time. So I'm going to put 2:45 on my start time, 2:45 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and take out the activities because next comes the activities. The next sentence says, it takes him 10 minutes to walk home. So the first activity he does is walk home. 10 minutes. I'm going to take it out here. Walk home. 10 minutes. 10 min. Next sentence. I stop at my stop sign, the period. Then he spends 10 minutes eating a snack. So I'm going to take out eating 10 minutes. He spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. So I'm going to take out 8 minutes and putting on his soccer uniform. So I'm going to underline soccer uniform. So soccer uniform. I'm just going to put uni, 8 minutes. It takes 20 minutes for Corey's father to drive him to soccer practice. So now I need the 20 minutes it takes his father to drive to the soccer practice. So the driving time, drive, would be 20 minutes. All of these activities are considered parts. So before we start moving our time, we need to put all these parts together. The question says, at what time does Corey arrive at soccer practice? He first got out of school and then he's going to arrive to soccer practice. So the ending time is what you are looking for. This is when he got out of school. So out of school. And this is when he's getting to soccer practice. Okay, so my elapsed time. I'm going to put all my minutes together. I like to put the minutes together because I just like to move one time and not think about anything else anymore. So I'm going to start putting 2 of my times together. That would be 10 plus 10. 0, 1 plus 1 is 2. Then I'm going to add, you can choose to add either one. I'm going to add 20. And I'm going to add these 20 because it looks the same. It is the same. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then finally, to the 40, I'm going to add the 8 minutes. The total elapsed time there is 48. That is not your answer. That's only the number that goes in the elapsed time. That's how much you're going to move the time. So we're going to call this the elapse. Now we're gonna move. Remember, your job is to find the end where what time that he got to soccer practice. So now I'm gonna start moving my time forward from 2:45. I'm gonna add plus 10 because that's the easiest way to add here. 45, remember, I'm only adding minutes until I get to 60. When I get to 60, I have to convert. 45 plus 10, that's 2:55. I cannot add 10 more, so I'm just gonna add 5 more. So it's gonna be plus 5. 55 plus 5 becomes 60. The reason I'm getting it to 60 is because when I get to 60, I need to convert. So remember, for this, 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So to convert, I need to take these 60 minutes, subtract 60 minutes, and it becomes 0, 0. If this is 1 hour, that hour is going to be added to the hours. So 2 plus 1 becomes 3 o'clock. So instead of saying that it's 2:60, we're going to say it's 3 o'clock. So this doesn't exist anymore. It's 3 o'clock. 10, 15 minutes have passed right now. So we're on 3 o'clock. I can add 5 more. That way I go back to my adding tens. Or you can add 10 more if you like. So that's going to be 3 o'clock plus 5. That's 3:05. I'm going to keep in mind how many minutes I've moved. So I've moved 10 plus 5 is 15. Plus 5 is 20. I need to get to 48. So I'm on 3:05. Now I'm going to start adding by tens. 10 more plus 10. 3:05. 5 plus 10 is 15. 3:15. That's 10. 15. 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. I still need to get to 48. So I'm going to add 10 more. 3:15 plus 10 is 3:25. 10, 15, 20, 30. 30 plus 10 is 40. Now I cannot add 10 more minutes because I want to get to 48. I'm only going to add 8. To do that, I'm going to break the 8 apart into 5 more first. 25 plus 5 is 3:30. 40 plus 5 is 45. And now I need only 3 minutes. So it's plus 3. 45 plus 3 would be 48. And we're going to stop there. So 3:30 plus 3 would be 3:33. And this becomes your elapsed time, or your, not your elapsed time, your ending time. So we're going to go back and check. He got out of school at 2:45. The parts or the activities he did was walk home 10 minutes. He ate a snack for 10 minutes. He put on his soccer uniform, 8 minutes. And then the drive to soccer practice is 20. We added the parts. 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 20 is 40. And 40 plus 8 is 48. That's our elapsed time. When we started moving our time, we have to make sure that this is 48 minutes. So let me check the minutes I added first. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 5 is 45. And then 45 plus 3 is 48. Now I'm going to check that I moved my time correctly, or I have to go back and change it. 2:45 plus 10 is 2:55. I only added 5 here because I wanted to make a 60. So 55 plus 5 became 60. I converted the 60 minutes into an hour, and that became 3 o'clock instead of 2:60. So at 3 o'clock, I added 5 more. That's 3:05. At 3:05, I added 10 more. That's 3:15. 3:15 plus 10 becomes 3:25. 3:25 plus 5 becomes 3:30. And 3:30 plus 3 is 3:33. That means that now we're sure that our ending time or when he arrived to soccer practice, is 3:33. Now, guys, I'm going to show you another problem. The other problem is also on your book on page 577. This one also involves a lot of activities. I believe it's 3 activities, so I need you to pay attention to see what we have to do. Alec and his family are going to New York City. Their airplane leaves at 9:15 a.m. They need to arrive at the airport 60 minutes before their flight. It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport. The family needs 30 minutes to get ready to leave. At what time should Alec's family start getting ready? So we know that he needs to leave at 9:15, and we need to find out what time he needs to start getting ready. So it already tells you here that what you need to find is what time he's going to start everything. So in our minds, we need to think, we're looking for the start time, and the time that he leaves the airport is 9:15. So that's the ending time. So we're going to look for the start time. They gave us the elapsed time, and they also gave us the ending time. That's when the airplane will leave. Let's break down the problem using our B cup. Alec and his family are going to New York City. This is only telling us where they're going. Let's go to the next sentence. Their airplane leaves at 9:15. So as we talked about it right now, the leaving time, 9:15, is the ending time. That's the time that he needs to be there. So this would be 9:15 a.m. They need to arrive at the airport 60 minutes before their flight. So 60 minutes before is already telling you that you need to go back in time to know what time he needs to leave. So 60 minutes before, that's one activity or one part. So 60 minutes. They need to arrive 60 minutes before. It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport. This is the time that it takes them to get to the airport. So 15 minutes. Get to airport. The family needs 30 minutes to get ready. So now the last thing is 30 minutes to get ready. So we have 3 parts here. I'm going to do this problem a little bit different. At what time should Alec's family start getting ready? So remember, your job is to find the start. This is the start where they start getting ready. The ending time is the time that the airplane leaves. And the elapsed time is all the activities that he did before the airport leaves. So I see here that there are 60 minutes here. I need to remind you that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So I am not going to include that time here. I'm just going to say that this equals 1 hour. This equals 1 hour. So 60 minutes is 1 hour. I'm only going to put, well, I'm not going to put any yet together. I'm gonna go back in time in parts. So 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So on the elapsed time, we have 1 hour. I'm gonna divide it into parts. So I'm gonna start going back 1 hour. So that's minus 1 hour. And this becomes the 60 minutes that they need to arrive to the airport. So minus 1 hour. Now we're going to subtract the hours. 9 minus 1 is 8. This time I subtracted from the hours because this was 1 hour. The 60 minutes was 1 hour. So I already took care of this time right now, this moment. So we have 8:15 now. I notice that there are 15 minutes here. I also noticed that there's 15 minutes on this activity, the getting to the airport part. So that means that I can also subtract the 15 minutes by itself here. So I'm going to subtract minus 15 minutes. So this is the time they need before they go to the airport, and this is the time to get to the airport. So 15 minus 15 minutes becomes 8 o'clock. So I already took care of this. Now I need my 30 minutes to get ready. We are not going to subtract 0 minus 30 minutes. What we're going to do is convert first. I need to take 1 hour from the 8. The 8 becomes a 7. And I need to put it in the minutes. So I'm not going to say that 1 is here. I'm going to say that 60 minutes are there because 1 hour from the 8 becomes 60 minutes when I convert it into minutes. So 60 is the same thing as 8, but we're saying 60 because we have to subtract 30 from there. So you can subtract 10 minus 10 minus 10, or you can go ahead and subtract the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the whole 30 minutes. So this is the time it takes them to get ready. 30 minutes. So I'm doing it in parts this time. So I'm going to subtract 30. I am not going to do that in my head. I'm going to go ahead and do a little problem here. So that's 60 minus 30. That's 0. 6 minus 3 is 3. So that means there's 30 minutes. So this becomes 7:30. 7:30 a.m. That means that they need to start getting ready at 7:30 a.m. to get to the airport at 9:15. I already subtracted this. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I did it correctly. So the airplane leaves at 9:15. That's going to be the ending time because they have to get ready for that. 60 minutes. They need to arrive 60 minutes before the flight. So that's the first part here. It takes them 15 minutes to get to the airport. That's here. And 30 minutes to get ready. What I did is I subtracted each one at a time. So I took 60, and instead of 60, I converted into 1 hour. So I subtracted the first part minus of 1 hour from the hours. So that's 9 minus 1 hour becomes 8:15. Nothing happens to the minutes here. Then I noticed that 15 minutes was part of one of the activities. So I subtracted the whole 15 minutes, and it became 8 o'clock because 15 minus 15 is 0, and the 8 doesn't change. Now, here, to subtract the last activity, we had to convert 8 to 7, and then the hour, put it in the minutes as 60. Then we subtracted the whole activity, 60 minus 30, and it became 30 minutes. The difference became 30 minutes. So we have 7:30 a.m. And that becomes your start time. I hope this helps, guys. Bye.